Hey, what's going on there, guys? I'm back here today with another booster box opening. So today we have a box of Modern Masters that we're going to be cracking on open, and this is actually the second booster box of Modern Masters that I'm opening as a full box on the channel here. So this is actually, the fourth box that I'm opening. I had two of them off camera, not including the daily pack episodes that I've done so far, and then I have 2.5 more boxes that I'm using for the daily packs aside from the other boxes that I have here, the 2 full ones and the 2 off camera at my shop that I opened up. So we're going to take a look at this, and we are basically just going to be rare hunting. Modern Masters is ridiculously awesome. There's a lot of value out of this set, a lot of really good chase cards like Dark Confidant, Tarmogoyf, Vendilion Click, lots of really good stuff, and hopefully we can see it in this box here today. If you guys want to purchase a box of Modern Masters, ABU Games has boxes and packs online that you guys can purchase. There are going to be links down below where you guys can find that and order some up. Not going to waste too much time here. I already started into the side here, and we are going to crack this open. The boxes are a little bit different this time around, though. They don't have 36 packs. You only get 24 in a Modern Masters booster box. But you still have a really good chance to get a lot of value out of it. So we have our flyer here for Modern Masters, and on the back it talks about how to draft Modern Masters, and then we have our packs here that are just kind of out of order probably. Either way, we're going to put this off to the side, and we are going to crack these packs open. We're basically just going to be looking for the rares and the foils. We get 1 foil in each pack, and we all are going to have chances at like foil rares and foil mythics, so that's always pretty cool. So let's get cracking. Also going to pull out any good uncommons like Tide Hollow Scullers, really nice. We have a foil, we have a Greater Gargadon and a foil Molten Disaster. I jumped the gun with getting to the foil. Molten Disaster is a rare though, so that's pretty cool. It has a kicker cost. If it's kicked, it has split second. That's pretty awesome, and it deals X to each creature without flying in each player. And the Gargadon has suspend for 10 for 1 red, and sack an artifact, creature, or land, remove a time counter from him, and you can only activate it if he's suspended, which kind of makes sense. So the Gargadon, not an amazing card, but still kind of cool. I played him in EDH, and he's kind of a fun card for that. I'm going to put the uncommons off to the side for any of the good ones that we end up pulling. Electrolyze is pretty good. And we have Ethersworn Canonist, so 2/2 for 2. Each player who has cast a non-artifact spell this turn can't cast additional non-artifact spells, so kind of cool for artifact-based decks where they can just start making your opponent not be able to do as many things per turn. It's especially good for Storm. It kind of shuts down Storm, so that's nice. And we have a foil Dramatic Vision. Gonna try and go a little bit faster through these packs so we don't sit around for way too long. But the biggest thing the Canonist can do is just shut down any Storm-based decks. They have to deal with it in order to actually get their win cons going. We have a Tombstalker 5/5 for 8, 6 generic double black flying, and it has Delve. And we have a foil Search for Tomorrow. We'll see if we can get a Goyf out of this box here. It'd be nice. I only pulled 1 of them, I think. Yeah, I only pulled 1. Traded for 2 more. But that's besides the point. They've been pretty hard to pull. Narcomoeba is pretty cool for an uncommon. And we have Tooth and Nail, which is a really awesome sorcery speed card for green. It's 7 cost, and we get to choose one, search our library for up to 2 creature cards, reveal them, put them into our hand. Or we can put up to 2 creature cards from our hand onto the battlefield, and we can entwine for 2 generic. And we have a foil Vivid Crag. The Vivid lands are in here, and they are especially nice for drafting. Oracle Trigon Predator is awesome, and we have an Academy Ruins, getting to take artifacts from our graveyard and put them on top of our library. And we have a foil Mog War Marshal. Academy Ruins is really awesome for EDH, above all. But I also like it, I'm playing it in Tezzeret, Esper Tezzeret for Modern. It's really fun. Grape Shot is significant. That just kind of caught my eye. Mind Funeral is awesome. Thirst for Knowledge is awesome. And we have Bridge from Below. So Bridge from Below has new art, and it's triple black, and it's an enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, if Bridge is in your grave, put a 2/2 black zombie onto the battlefield. Whenever a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard from the battlefield, if Bridge is in your graveyard, exile it. So we have that. We have a Hillcumber Giant. Bridge is awesome for Legacy Dredge. You can just flood the board with 2/2s off of sacking your things and just keep on getting more tokens out of the Bridge from Below. And then you eventually swing for the win with Flamekin Zealot, which is pretty awesome. So it's really cool that Bridge got new art. It was kind of something that I wasn't expecting. Not so much that they would have put Bridge in Modern Masters, more so just that it got new art. They did do a slew of new artworks for cards, so if anything, that's pretty awesome, and it should give a nice value to some of these cards, especially if the one art's more favored than the other. We have Kitchen Finks. That's a pretty good uncommon. Stir the Pride. And our rare here is Cold-Eyed Selkie. So it's a 1/1 for 3, 1 generic and double Simic hybrid. It has Island Walk, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw that many cards. Pretty awesome, and we have a foil Muldrifter. So I'll put our Finks over here. I'm just going to have a pile of the uncommons. I'm just going to stack the foils so we can still kind of see those. And the last pack, the first column. Peer Through the Depths is another good card. Executioner's Capsule is awesome too. We have Chalice of the Void, so enters the battlefield with X amount of charge counters on it, XX to cast. And whenever a player casts a spell with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on Chalice of the Void, counter that spell. And we have a foil Fairy Mechanist. Another Mind Funeral. And we have Countryside Crusher, 3/3 for 3. At the beginning of our upkeep, reveal the top card of our library. If it's a land, put into the graveyard, repeat the process. If it's a land card, and whenever a land is put into your graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 onto them. And we have a foil Rift Bolt, which is pretty cool. I could use that for red deck wins. I already pulled, I think, 1 or 2 foil Rift Bolts out of Modern Masters, and I like the new artwork that they did for it. Another Thirst. It's pretty awesome. We have a Demigod of Revenge, 5/4 for 5, and it's 5 Rakdos Hybrid, Flying Haste. Whenever you cast them, return all cards named Demigod of Revenge from your graveyard to the battlefield. And we have a foil Tidehollow Sculler. That's really awesome. It's another card that I really, really like. It's also one that I seem to be pulling a lot of foil copies of. I think that's the third foil Scholar that I've pulled. And we have Tarmogoyf. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So we got a Goyf. His power is equal to the number of card types among cards in all graveyards, and his toughness is equal to that number plus 1. And he is a whopping 2 mana. That is just awesome. And we have a foil Veteran Armorer. Always nice to pull some Goyfs. Take Possession's pretty cool. Worm Harvest, Riftwing, and we have a Sword of Light and Shadow. Another sword that I seem to be pulling a lot of. I pulled a foil one out of my first box that I did on camera. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has pro white and black. Whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to the player, we get to gain 3 life, and we can return up to 1 target creature card from our graveyard to our hands. We have a foil Face Vaulter. So, not a bad box at all. So far, at least. We have a decent amount of packs still left to go through. Path to Exile's awesome. And we have Auriok Salvagers, 2 mana, and we return target artifact with converted mana cost 1 or less from our graveyard to our hand. 4 to cast, and it's a 2/4. And we have a foil Sudden Shock. I would imagine that Sudden Shock's worth something, maybe $1 or 2, a couple bucks. Shrapnel Blast is awesome in terms of uncommons. And we have a Akadar Valkyrie, 4/5 for 6, Flying Vigilance, and tap whenever target creature other than the Valkyrie dies this turn, return that card to the battlefield under your control. And foil Amaru Scout. Rift Sweeper is pretty cool. Desperate Ritual was pretty cool. I actually didn't realize that it was a uncommon. And we have Una, Queen of the Fae. So 5/5 for 6, 3 generic, and triple Dimir hybrid flying. And its ability is X and 1 hybrid Dimir. Choose a color. Target opponent exiles the top X amount of cards from his or her library. For each card of the chosen color exiled this way, put a 1/1 blue and black fairy rogue creature token with flying onto the battlefield. One of my favorite generals for EDH. It's probably the one that I use the most as well. And we have a foil Death Cloud, so that's awesome. Death Cloud is actually a card that I use in Una for EDH. And it's pretty nice to have a foil one, so that's going to go into my EDH deck and replace the regular one that I have from Mirrodin. Was it Darksteel? I want to say that it was Darksteel that had Death Cloud. I can't remember right now. And I know it's in the original Mirrodin block, though. But we have Lightning Helix. That's awesome. And we have Gifts Ungiven. Search our library for up to 4 cards with different names and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those. Put the chosen cards into your hand and the rest into your... put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand. Read that backwards. Then shuffle your library. And it's 4 to cast. And we have a Sylvan Bounty. So we'll try to clean these up. I'll put them in a pile. We had, what, the Molten Disaster, Death Cloud. Are there any? No, there weren't any other rares. Those are the only 2 foil rares that we have. We have another Path, and we have Pact of Negation. So Nice hard counter for 0, counter target spell. And at the beginning of your next upkeep, pay 5 mana, 3 generic double blue. If you don't, you lose the game. And we have a foil Logic Knot. Strutter Spite is awesome, Sudden Shock is awesome, and Croson Grip is pretty awesome too. We have Kataki War's Wage, 2-1 for 2, and all artifacts have, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this artifact unless you pay 1 generic mana, and we have a foil Absorb This. So there's still a couple more packs left. I mean, not bad overall. Tooth and Nail, Bridge, Chalice of the Void, Sword of Light and Shadow, and Goyf is pretty good. Also Gifts and Pact of Negation. Aside from everything else. Those are big things that just stand out to me. Eternal Witness is nice. And we have Vendilion Click. So sick. 3-1 for 3, flash flying, and whenever it enters the battlefield, look at target player's hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, that player reveals the chosen card, puts it on the bottom of his or her library, and then draws a card. So that is just sick. And we have a foil Erratic Mutation. So just a lot of value out of this box. Also a lot of mythics. Another Sculler. We have Rude Awakening. 5 cost, choose 1, untap all lands you control, or until the end of the turn, lands you control become 2/2 creatures that are still lands, and you can entwine for 3. And we have a foil Croson Grip. Pretty happy about that, actually. Not bad at all. So, Rude Awakening, Sculler, and the Grip. Manamorphose, probably one of the uncommons that I saw the least of. I want to say that I only have like 2 of those. We have a Woodfall Primus, 6/6 for 8, 5 generic, triple green, trample whenever it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-creature or permanent, and has persist. And we have a foil Hanakami. Kind of interesting. And we have, what, 3 packs left. We'll put those right there. I only pulled out 1 Grape Shell, but I feel like I passed up so many of them. Sometimes I just get real hasty and I just want to get to another Manamorphose. I just want to get to the rares and also the uncommons. Pyromancer Swath, enchantment for 3. If an instant or sorcery you control would deal damage to a creature or player, it deals that much, plus 2 to that creature or player instead. At the beginning of each end step, discard your hand. And a foil Rift Elemental. Pyromancer Swath, awesome, alongside Grape Shot, actually. Pretty fun in Storm. And Pyromancer's Ascension, which is Storm, basically. Just a different type of Storm. I've both played with and without it. Another Narcomoeba. That's awesome. And we have Jorah of the Gitsu. So 2/2 for 3. And for 2 mana, exile a non-land card from your hands. Put 4 time counters on the exile card. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. So in 4 turns, you basically get to cast it for free. And a foil Nantuko Shaman. And our last pack here. So, even without this last pack, this box was awesome. The Sword of Light and Shadow, Goyf, Gifts, Vendilion Click, Chalice, Tooth and Nail, Academy Ruins 2, and Bridge from Below. Those are like all things that I really, really like out of here. And we're going to see what we have inside this last pack. And we have another Chalice of the Void, so that's pretty cool. I could always use more of them, so another double X enters the battlefield with X charge counters. Whenever a player casts a spell with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on it, counter that spell. And a foil Siphon Life, so nothing that amazing in terms of the foil. But either way, this box was just really awesome. A lot of really good stuff, and just the Vendilion Click and Tarmogoyf alone just made this box really awesome. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Share any awesome experiences you had with Modern Masters down there as well. If you want to buy a booster box or some packs of Modern Masters, there's a link down to ABU Games where you guys can check that out. And there's also a playlist in the description with all the previous sealed products and booster boxes that I've opened on the channel. Until next time, guys, have yourselves a wonderful, fun-filled Magic the Gathering day.